resurrection and the life.
The Masters of Wisdom speak on the miracle of resurrection. The Bridge to Freedom Journal, April 1954. Lord Maha Chohan. Within life itself is the power of resurrection, of renewal, of survival and resuscitation. The kingdom of nature, through which I am privileged to serve, lives in obedience to this natural gift and power. By its use, every species sustains itself for the blessing, nourishment, and benefit of the human kingdom. The glorious flowers, the verdant life pulse manifest in the springtime, are the proof of the possibility of resurrection. May mankind soon awaken sufficiently to this self-evident truth written across the face of the earth they inhabit, and may they draw the resurrection currents through their own souls to recreate the glory, the perfection, the beauty and mastery which they had in the beginning, before the world was. Ascended Master Elmoira. As the seed holds within itself the pattern of the full flower, so does the Sacred Heart of man hold within itself the pattern of his divinity. The forces of nature and the seasons of the year blend their gifts and powers to the development, expansion, and sustenance of that pattern through nature. Thus also do spiritual forces, powers, activities, and intelligent God beings pour forth definite, specific blessings which are an impetus to the development of the divine pattern within mankind at certain rhythmic seasons. When the resurrection flame is directed through nature by the Lord Maha Chohan, mankind may magnetize its life-giving essence and draw it through the latent God powers within his own soul, if he will. Ascended Master Kuthumi. As the wise gardener and farmer do all within their power to prepare the earth and open their hopeful plantings to the life-giving forces of nature, so do we endeavor always to create and sustain through the consciousness of mankind the most beneficial atmosphere, and then await the flowing of the spiritual currents which stimulate the awakening of the dormant God nature and its ultimate fulfillment in God mastery and freedom. We are but the tending guardians relying on the God power to do the actual work. Ascended Master Paul, the Venetian Master. There is only one power by which man may develop and mature his divine pattern, and that power is of God. Even the great brother whose name and service we honor at this holy season has said, "I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within who doeth the works." The guardian spirits, the angelic host, the cosmic beings, and the spiritual hierarchy but prepare the soul to receive the impetus from the God who made it. As the farmer does not claim to have created the harvest, neither does the hierarchy claim to have created the God-free beings, but rather to have worked in the Father's vineyard, tending the souls within whose very selves lies the pattern of divinity. We can and do create the aura where sanctity is developed. We can and do stimulate the soul to magnetize the God currents. We can and do form a pattern of what each intelligence may in himself express. That is as far as the Ascended Master's service goes. It is the inward search of the self that yields the harvest of manifest works. Ascended Master Serapis Bey. The man who applies to a seat of learning in order to become proficient in some art, science, or other highly specialized skill recognizes the self-evident truth that those who have already mastered the natural laws governing such developed talents and capacities are the natural teachers from whom he can benefit. He does not worship the teacher, but shares the teacher's consciousness, makes of it his own, and working through the shared instruction comes to like proficiency. It is equally true of the student upon the spiritual path. When he applies for more knowledge than the world can give, the law opens the door by which he may enter into association with those who are masters of the particular phase of spiritual endeavor which has drawn his interest. The master will at all times turn the student back to the development of his own consciousness. He will share the understanding by which he attained, but he will never allow the student to lean upon him for accomplishment of his own individual development. Such a student loves, reveres, and honors his teacher, but worships only and always the God that lives within him. Ascended Master Hilarion. When a man desires to expand the divine pattern through his own soul, he magnetizes spiritual currents which nourish and develop those slumbering spiritual centers and arouse them to active expression through the outer consciousness. I well remember the response of the Christ to the magnetized energies of my world as I walked the road to Damascus, intent on doing right as I saw it. The sincerity of my motive invoked the presence of the living Jesus Christ, and in an instant I saw right. And seeing, my soul embraced that presence, and it became for me the stimulus to the development of my own Christ in like manner. Thus, through the spiritual sun of Jesus' presence, my own God pattern was stimulated, developed, and externalized, and so may it be for you. Editor's note: one of beloved Hilarion's embodiments was the Apostle Paul. Ascended Master Jesus. Through the kind and gracious assistance of our Lord Maha Chohan, I was enabled to magnetize the spiritual currents of the resurrection, which flow through the earth and resurrect the nature kingdom in the springtime. These same currents are equally available to mankind desiring to make his soul magnify the Lord. It is pitiful indeed that the fragrant, gloriously colored blossoms upon the fruit tree do magnify the spirit of life, and the souls of men pass through each Easter season with so little of the new life expressed through their nature and their presence in this world of form. Saint Germain. Every man has his own Easter, when the soul, awakening from its long sleep, stretches its arms out toward its God and invokes the life-giving currents of the resurrection to revitalize the divine pattern that has lain dormant through the centuries. As surely as the fruit tree shares in the miracle of a new birth, so surely does every soul so invoking the resurrection flame share in the second birth and become a full flower in the garden of the spiritually elect, the God-free spirits who are externalizing the will of God through flesh and through spirit. I have known that Easter, and you shall know it too one day, when the longing of the soul for light is greater than the clamor of the personal self for survival at the cost of delayed mastery.